Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you the greatest show ever conceived. Newfangled Motion Picture Show.
I mean, I would argue it's not the greatest show ever conceived.
It's the greatest show ever conceived, Niall. You gotta sell it.
Yeah.
You gotta sell it like P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum.
It happens to be the focus of this movie.
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
Starring Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum.
So, as usual, we'll do a spoiler-free review.
Mm-hmm.
Then throw up a spoiler warning. Then we'll do a non-spoiler review. So, also forgive us for coughing into the mics if that happens. We're both still kind of sick.
Nolan more so than me at this point, I think. Alright. So, Hugh Jackman plays P.T. Barnum of
P.T. Barnum fame.
P.T. Barnum fame? Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like, if you don't know who P.T. Barnum was, he basically invented the American circus.
The American traveling circus.
Yeah, with
the big
high-flying acrobats and the tent and elephants and all of that. And so this attempts, in a small way, to tell us the story of how he went from working for like a shipping company, I think, to that. And one of the wealthiest men in America, if not the world.
Yeah.
But it's a musical. So if musicals turn you off, then you gotta, it's not for you. It's a musical, and it takes a very loose history of him. He is, if you read into P.T. Barnum, he's portrayed as much nicer. Not that he was a bad person or anything, but he was definitely took a lot more advantage of his performers than it's made out to be in the movie. In this movie, it's made out like, oh, he gave us purpose and gave us a family that we never had. And while that may be true, he was definitely taking a lot of advantage of them, and that's not really portrayed in this movie. This is a lighthearted musical meant to, give the message that just because you're different doesn't make you a lesser person. And this is, as they put it in at the end, a celebration of humanity.
Yep.
Or something. And that, that's
all very heartwarming.
It is. It's all very heartwarming. It's not historically accurate, though. So Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron.
And Zendaya.
Yeah. They're the major...
There it is.
Major focus of the movie.
Zendaya, you might recognize from Spider-Man.
Homecoming. She was Peter Parker's girlfriend. Let's see who else is in this. There we go. My IMDb closed. There we go. So
there's a lot of
Michelle Williams is P.T. Barnum's wife. Let's see, between Zendaya and Keela Settle, who is the bearded lady. They're kind of them, and then the little person who's Tom Thumb, Sam Humphrey. They're kind of the focus of all of the freaks, for lack of a better term. It started off as a freak show. I mean, well, it started off as a museum of oddities.
Yep. And
then became a freak show. Then became a circus.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
it's an okay movie if you
like musicals.
If you like musicals, So there were a few catchy tunes. There's like one song that kind of repeated a lot throughout the movie, and then there was a couple catchy tunes, I guess, but not tunes that fit the period, because the movie's set in the 1800s.
Yep.
That's when P.T. Barnum lived, and these songs are decidedly modern pop music.
Yeah, they are.
They are very much modern pieces with modern dancing going on in them. It if you're looking for anything like a period piece, this isn't it. That's definitely going to take you out of it. I don't think they cared about keeping historical, obviously, because the story is much, it hits a few high points and highlights in P.T. Barnum's life, but it's not very accurate. And yeah, the the music in it and the dance numbers are very much modern.
Yeah, and not like Nolan said, there was like one tune that was kind of catchy, but honestly, I don't even really remember much of the lyrics of any of the songs.
No.
I mean, most musicals, at the end of the movie, after you've seen the movie, there's a few songs that kind of can get stuck in your head or whatever that you at least remember.
Yeah, I didn't find that to be the case with this one.
There's some interesting dance choreography though.
Yeah.
That scene, I mean, I don't consider this a spoiler, but there's a dance number, with Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron in a bar.
That was probably the best.
That was a really
piece.
Fun dance choreography in that scene.
It's kind of cool because they're like sliding. They're in this bar and they're like sliding drinks back and forth down the bar to each other, and then the bartender will pick up a glass and like throw another drink down the bar, and it's kind of cool how it's choreographed and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a fun, fairly lighthearted movie. It's pretty short.
Yeah,
it's like an hour and 45, I think.
You can take, it's a family film. There's nothing in there that's really gonna upset kids or.
Although there's a couple of scenes where they do drink pretty heavily, so
yeah, there is. Yeah, if you're concerned about seeing people drinking, but it's kind of fits the story. It's these characters when they're drinking, they're kind of in a depression.
Yeah,
they're kind of in a morose state, and then they have a musical number and they come out of it and they don't drink anymore. Yeah, other than that, there's nothing in there that's questionable for kids to see. And if you look, like they'll pour drinks, but when they actually throw the drinks back, usually it's clear liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. It wasn't. It wasn't anything I'm like need to see again. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was all right. I'm not big into musicals to begin with, so.
I don't mind musicals personally.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
like seek them out, but
yeah. I mean, before this, my favorite. Well, not before this. Still is my favorite musical is Rock of Ages, but all the songs in it are rock and roll songs that I was already familiar with.
Yeah.
There's no new songs in Rock of Ages.
Right.
And I'm just a big fan of that music, so
yeah, it makes sense.
But
I mean,
other musicals. I've enjoyed musicals in the past, and I enjoyed this one, but it's not like on any list of best musicals by any means.
Yeah, I mean, besides Rock of Ages, I can't even remember the last musical I saw that wasn't like a Disney cartoon musical.
No,
it's been a while. Maybe it might even be as far back as like Sweeney Todd or something,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun movie.
Into the Woods.
Oh yeah. Didn't that one also have Zac Efron in it?
It might have. It had
Chris Pine.
Might have had Zac Efron. I don't know.
Yeah,
we saw a stage production of that, and then we later saw the movie like a year later. I think it came out or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's throw up a spoiler warning, and we can get a little more in depth into this movie. But there's not a whole lot to discuss, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, this movie it takes a very light-handed approach to P.T. Barnum's life. There was a lot more controversy in his real life, a lot more, you know, I don't know, low down. I don't know. He took a lot more advantage of his performers.
Yeah.
Than they show. I mean, on one hand, these people would not have been able to really get jobs, especially ones paying as well as they did anywhere else. But on the other hand, they were working for peanuts practically.
Yep.
You know, P.T. Barnum was fabulously wealthy after he started up his show, and his performers were hardly making anything in comparison. And then in real life, I know that the little person who was Tom Thumb, and then there was the female one, Thumbelina, who was even smaller than him. They were forced to get married by P.T. Barnum. She doesn't make an appearance in this movie at all. I guess there's 2 love stories already in the movie. They didn't want to stick another one because they would have, to keep this mood that the movie sets, they would have had to have fallen in love with each other and everything. In real life, I don't even know if they liked each other, but they were forced to marry.
Definitely didn't want to be married.
Yeah, they were forced to marry each other by Barnum. I think it was he was trying to do through selective breeding get an even smaller person. It was probably his goal.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm sure the animals were not all that humanely treated.
Probably not.
Back then. But none of that is mixed into this movie. It's, like I said, it's very lighthearted. You know, P.T. Barnum has his faults. It does show he has his faults and he feels the need to prove, because his wife comes from money and he doesn't or didn't, and he feels the need to prove that he is worthy of her, I guess. And to her, he never needed to prove that, but he goes through all these machinations to prove that. And it kind of
to make more and more money.
Yeah, and it kind of tears apart their relationship. But they get back together in the end, and they're back in love with each other, and they rebuild the circus.
Yep.
Because the building they were in Manhattan burned down.
That actually happened.
Yeah, that actually happened. Did it actually happen? Was it protesters that set fire to it, or was that made up for the movie? Do you know?
I actually don't know.
So in the movie, these people that had been...
Yeah, so after a show, there's these people who are protesting throughout the movie, and then after a show one time, when P.T. Barnum, he wasn't the ringmaster at this point. It was Zac Efron's character, Philip Carlyle, and they basically stick after a show to pick a fight, and
they didn't like the idea of these freaks being in their city.
Yeah, so they pick a fight with... So dumb to me. Like, yeah, pick a fight with all these, like, crazy athletic acrobats and stuff. And a man who's, like, nearly 7 feet tall. That's gonna go
6'11" was that actor.
Yeah. I was like, that's gonna go over real well. So, they're beating the crap out of these protesters. And during the fighting, one of them smashes an oil lamp, into, like, the rigging for the acrobats or whatever, and it lights the building on fire. So that burns down, and at the end they rebuild with a big old circus tent.
Yeah, well, Zac Efron's character, because he was a 10% partner, right?
Yep.
And he had been saving up all his money, because he came from money, so he had like part of an inheritance that he was living off of. So the money he got for being a partner in this show...
Well, he lost all that, remember?
Yeah, but it wasn't until the end of that. Most of the time,
yeah,
he was living off of his family's money. So he had a bunch built up, that they were able. It was enough that they were able to buy what they needed to restart the show in a tent. Because Barnum says, well, I can get land down by the docks for a fraction of what I was paying to lease this piece of land here in Manhattan. We just need a tent, which doesn't cost much, when compared to a building.
Right.
So that started the traveling circus with the tent and everything, and they could pack that up and travel all across the country.
Put it on Casey Jr. Circus Train and
yeah, it's a different
drive around the
property. We'll talk about that when that Dumbo live action movie comes out.
I still can't believe they're doing that.
I can't believe they're doing live actions of like all the classic cartoons.
Yeah.
Just wait till we get a live action Black Cauldron. Now I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. There was a one moment. I don't think they really did anything with it. So at one point he goes to visit the Queen of England. At her request, she wanted to see the fabulous P.T. Barnum circus
and his oddities.
That everyone's talking about. The word of it made it all the way to Europe. And so he goes there and he meets this woman who is a singer, an opera singer,
who did not sing opera.
Did not sing opera. She sang like an R&B
something. Yeah,
something. Anyway, so he meets her and he takes her back to America, and this is all part of his plan to, because he has money, but the upper crust still doesn't want anything to do with him, and all the people going to his show are middle lower class people. So he wanted some sort of show that the upper class would go and see, and this was it. And so he's touring America with her, and she falls in love with him.
He's uncomfortable with that.
And he's uncomfortable with that, and he decides, I'm going to go back home to my wife. You finish the tour. And so in all these, he had to take out a loan to fund this tour, though, and yeah. And it still happens today. You have to pre-buy seats a lot of the time, especially if it's not going to be a sure thing that people are going to fill those seats. So the artist has to pay for all the seats ahead of time, and so as they sell tickets, they're getting money back. And so, based on the loan, she'd have to do 40 shows before he'd even start making a profit.
Yep.
And they don't even get that far before he's like, I'm going to go back to New York. You finish the tour on your own. And he stays for one more show, and she kisses him on stage. And, of course, there's photographs and it's in all the newspapers. It's like, uh-oh, his wife's going to hate this. And his wife is like, when he's like, oh, it means nothing. She's like, oh, I get it. It didn't, affect anything, because at that point she was already going to leave him because she was upset that he basically bankrupted them and didn't even discuss it with her.
Yeah.
So she was mad at him for that, and she was leaving him already. The picture in the newspaper, she just brushes off as like, it's no big deal. I know she doesn't mean anything to you. And walks out the door. It's like, well, what was even the point of that? That was sort of like this, like, oh, we set this in there, we gotta tie it off, though, and it doesn't affect anything.
Well, she says...
Because at the end, they get back together anyway.
She says, like, I know you don't care about her or me or anything else.
But at the end, he goes to see her, and she takes him back, and everything is good.
And he shows up to his daughter's ballet recital on a freaking elephant.
Yeah, in the middle of winter, poor elephant.
Yeah, elephants come from Africa. It's hot there.
Yeah.
Like, all year long, it's hot in Africa.
Even if it's an Indian elephant.
Which that wasn't.
No. Still hot.
Yeah, still hot.
Yeah. But, yeah, this is middle of winter New York City. There's snow on the ground and everything. But anyway... He sort of just takes over. I guess at the end, he hands off ringmaster duties to Zac Efron, and he takes over like managerial duties or something, and which was kind of the other way around beforehand. he brought Zac Efron's character in to sort of manage things.
Well, and help him like figure out how to like appeal to more people.
Yeah, appeal to a broader audience because he was a playwright or a producer or something, right?
Yeah, he was a producer and writer.
Right.
So,
yeah, there's not like a whole lot to say about the movie that we haven't already covered.
I'd recommend it. You know, but
if you like musicals and you're looking for a family film and you've already taken your kids to see
Jumanji,
or anything else that's out there,
Star Wars,
Ferdinand.
I really, really want to see John Cena in more movies, but that movie looks dumb.
Yeah, I had heard. Well, this isn't really the place to discuss it, but I heard a review that kind of was like it starts off good, and then just sort of devolves into slapstick, stupid humor especially with the introduction of these hedgehogs, or whatever they are.
We will not be doing Ferdinand as a video. I believe our next video is going to be Jumanji.
Yeah.
Which will be tomorrow or later today. Depends on when this video goes up.
Yeah. And
from when we're recording it, it'll probably be up tomorrow evening. But this video that we're recording right now might not be going up till tomorrow morning.
Nah, I'll probably get it up.
You're going to get it up tonight?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, so look for Jumanji, our next movie review. What do we got in January? Not a whole lot the first week. So the second week, the only thing it looks like coming out is Commuter, starring Liam Neeson. That movie looks bad.
I'm not real interested in that.
Oh, Proud Mary's coming out.
I've not even seen a trailer for it, but the posters make me want to see it.
The posters are fantastic. The hit woman working for an organized crime family in Boston completely turn around when she meets a young boy whose past she crosses with a professional hit gone awry. When a professional hit goes awry. So we'll probably see that. Then after that is 12 Strong, and we're going to be all over that.
Yeah.
So. And then, God, I can't believe they're still making Maze Runner movies.
Oh, yeah. I only saw the first one.
Yeah. So look for that coming up. As far as the movie reviews go, check out our streaming. We'll probably be streaming tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
Now that we're not, so plague ridden.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to stream the last couple weeks, and I couldn't not cough for more than a minute. So really didn't make a whole lot of sense to stream. Well, but go check that out. It's over on our Twitch channel. Everything _is_bad. And until next time, thanks for listening to our ramblings about movies.
Farewell. Godspeed.
Good night and good luck.